Hello, and thank you for joining me. It's been quite a while since I customized a pocket knife, so we're going to get back on track. Just been busy with Blade Show Texas and a whole bunch of other stuff, but today we're going to be customizing the TAKCOM Knives Unnamed. It's a great button lock. Usually don't like button locks, but this one is done very, very well. So you can see here, really unique design. Love that blade shape. Love the belly on this, and it's a all titanium construction frame there, or handles if you will, but really, really love this thing. And Shane was kind enough to send one my way to customize, so we're going to get as creative as I can with this. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using for the show side scale. I'm going to be using the Dunes Fat Carbide. This is a beautiful material. I really, really love this stuff. And as you guys can see, I already attempted to do the layout of the holes. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to scrap this piece because I messed up. I did find some issues that I tweaked on the computer with the CNC setup. So it's going to go a lot better. I know that it will. With that being said, let's get to the table here and disassemble this thing. I want to mention that all the hardware is T8. So that's really nice. And very minimal. You have 4 body screws, so 2 on the show side and 2 in the back. And I like that the pocket clip hardware goes all the way through into this standoff. So really, really well constructed. Really solid knife for the minimal hardware. Well, let's go ahead and disassemble this thing. I have it all disassembled and quickly want to show you some of the challenges I'm going to be facing, which I don't think is going to be too difficult. But one of the challenges is going to be the rounded inside groove or perimeter around this button lock opening. You can see there it's nicely rounded. I do have ball nose bits for my CNC, so I'm going to have to figure that out. And then underneath, we do have a very, very small perimeter around the underside of the button. You can see right there, but I have an idea for that as well. It's going to be pretty time consuming, but I think if I'm just really patient with it, I can figure it out on the easel setup that I have on the computer. And eventually I'll do a video on how I use my easel program with my CNC, just so you guys can get a better understanding of how I do things. There's probably better ways of doing it, but more on that on a later video. And I will see you at the end of the video where I reassemble everything. Now that we're in the studio, we can take a closer look at what I did. We'll start off with the show side scale. Really happy with how this turned out. And again, really happy that I had those ball-nosed bits for the CNC to create that rounded grooved section on that button lock button. So really happy with that. And then I used the regular bit to create that little beveled or shelved section on the underside of the button. I don't know if you can see it, but that just keeps the button from falling out or going past a certain point. Really challenging, but I took my time and made it happen. And as you guys can see, I did make some relief cuts in here just to make this show side scale really, really light. Also added my logo on the bottom. I went ahead and copied the same contour on the front and the rear of the scale. Same to the original scale. And then copied the bevels all the way around to the original scale. So I got it as close as I could to perfect, but really, really happy with it. And it's going to look really good once it's all assembled. I also went ahead and made a custom pocket clip. And I do have a how-to video on how to create your own pocket clip. I'll leave it up here in the corner. You can check out that video if you're interested in making your own pocket clip. It was a bit of a challenge to create the bottom section where the pin holds, just like the original. You can see there. That was an interesting challenge in itself, but it came out really, really well. And I'll show you more of this once it's installed onto the knife. But that is the pocket clip. I also went ahead and put a rock pattern texture on a titanium backspacer and went ahead and anodized it a gold bronze color, just a deeper gold, just to match the hardware, which I'll show you in just a moment. But really happy with this, and you're still able to see the number on the bottom and the TAKCOM logo. Also gave it a nice rough stonewash finish. And speaking of stonewash finish, I did that to the pocket clip side of this titanium scale, just to give it a different look and just hide scratches. Really happy with this. And I went ahead and did it on the show side scale, or the original, just in case Shane wants to change it out and go back to titanium. So just wanted it to match. And getting back to the hardware, I heat anodized all the hardware a gold bronze hue. I just think black and gold go really well together. I went ahead and did the button as well. See right there, even the flats of that texture are nice and shiny and bronze. So really cool contrast. I did the stop pins, the body screws. That's pretty much it. Oh, the other thing I did before I forget is I put that same rock pattern texture that I did on the backspacer on the spine of the blade, just to match. And again, I think it gives it a really cool look, and it feels really nice on the fingers. But that's all I did to this knife, even though it's quite a bit. But let's put this thing together and see what it looks like. Here it is all assembled. And again, I love that contrast with the gold and the black. I think it looks really, really good. Here is the spine of the knife with that rock pattern texture. And it shifts and dances in the light. Very similar to the fat carbon. Again, just really addicting to look at. But here is the backside with that rock pattern textured backspacer. I also anodized it a deep bronze golden color. Shifts in the light. Love how that turned out. And then here is the pocket clip side. Now, fat carbon or carbon fiber or G10 works surprisingly well for pocket clips. I mean, the retention is really, really good. Obviously, if you overextend it, it will break. But, I mean, that is just what it is. But it does function, and I think it looks way, way cooler. unless you have a special kind of titanium for a pocket clip. But if anything does happen to this pocket clip, I did anodize and stonewash the original, a nice bronze color to match everything else. So if something does happen, Shane can just swap it out and he can get back to carrying it. So that's one thing I kept in mind. I also made sure to contour and bevel the back section of the pocket clip just so it's more comfortable in hand. And I used the beveled section here, or the ridge or the edge of it, to shape the back end of the pocket clip. Basically just use it as a guide to get it exactly where it needs to be. Again, very time consuming, but I think totally worth it. And I kept just enough space below for those thicker pant pockets, so it functions beautifully in pocket. Let's check this thing out opened up. Just love the profile of it. Again, just a great knife overall. Highly recommend this thing. I will leave a link down below to TAKCOM Knives if you guys are interested in picking one of these up. But really love the stone wash. I was considering etching and stone washing the blade, but I don't know how well MagnaCut etches, so maybe we'll do that on a different project. But really pleased with it. As always, let me know down below what you guys think of how this thing turned out. It's always appreciated. And I love the action on this. Action still functions beautifully. The blade is perfectly centered, so that lets me know that I did everything right on this show side scale. Typically, if you do something wrong, it won't be able to center, so really pleased with that. But when this thing was all titanium, it made a very metallic-y sound. It's still there, but it's just not as pronounced, if that makes any sense. Still has a unique sound. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. But just a really, really cool knife. Again, not a fan of button locks, but this one is done very well. The ergos are very, very good on this knife. Even before I customized it, it's very, very comfortable hand. And one thing that I focused on with this custom clip was to make it very comfortable. So you can see right here that section at the bottom where it kind of dips down fits perfectly in the palm of your hand. And I just use these sections on my palm to locate where the pocket clip goes, depending on the length of it. I also gave this thing a new aggressive cutting edge. I like my edges to bite down into the material a little bit. So very, very sharp. Just want to give a quick shout out to Shane for sending this in to get it customized. Really appreciate the opportunity. And as always, you guys, thank you for watching. I really appreciate your support. And I will see you guys on the next one.